Welcome to the Heart of a Viking. These art lessons are taught by Mrs. Minto from the Cape Henlopen School District in Delaware. I hope you have fun, create imaginative works of art, and make sure you share them with someone because, after all, the visual arts are meant to be seen.
Hello, Cape artists, and welcome to the Heart of a Viking. This week and all this week, we are traveling to South America, and today especially, we are in Brazil. Can you believe it? Brazil sure is beautiful, and we're in the Amazon rainforest. I am super excited for you today to be visiting the wet and wild Amazon rainforest. There are so many beautiful insects and birds and plants and flowers that grow and live in the Amazon rainforest that don't grow and live anywhere else. I am super excited for you to learn about all of those things coming up here next. And then we're going to be making our own Rainstick, which will sound just like the rain falling in the Amazon rainforest. So stay tuned, grab your thinking caps, learn some new information, grab your art supplies, and I can't wait to meet you back over to create our Rainsticks together.
The Amazon rainforest is in South America, and it travels across 9 different countries. Isn't that amazing? And Brazil has 60% of the rainforest in its country. It is the largest and oldest rainforest in the entire world, and it's estimated to be about 55 million years old. A lot of the species in the Amazon rainforest can't be found anywhere else in the entire world. This is definitely the place to go if you want to go exploring. There are over 2.5 million species of insects, more than 40,000 different plants, more than 1,500 bird species, and 2,000 fish species. In the Amazon, it rains about every 4 days. That's a lot of rain, and it can add up to 10 meters a year. That's the same height as a 3-story building. No wonder they call it a rainforest. And if you had to walk on the floor of the rainforest, you wouldn't be able to see that much since it's seriously dark. Very little sunlight is able to filter its way through the massive canopy of trees overhead. If it started to rain, it would take about 10 minutes for you to actually get wet. The Amazon rainforest is known as the lungs of the planet. As the world's largest rainforest, it plays a wide role in filtering and reprocessing carbon dioxide. Trees and other green vegetation in the Amazon forest absorb a huge amount of the carbon dioxide for the production of energy through photosynthesis and then release oxygen back into the environment. And that's what you and I need to breathe. Through this process, the Amazon rainforest provides 20% of the world's oxygen and plays a wide role in reducing global warming. Amazon rainforest also exchanges a huge amount of water and energy with the atmosphere and controls regional climate. A large variety of medicinal plants also come from the Amazon rainforest. Wow, the Amazon rainforest is really impressive. But the only thing we haven't talked about is the rain in the rainforest. I wonder what it would sound like to hear it raining through all of those trees. Let's make a rain stick today to help us imagine what the sound would be in the Amazon rainforest. Hey, Keep artists, let's get started. The supplies we'll be needing today start with a cardboard tube, and I want you to get the size that comes from a paper towel roll. We'll also be needing a spoon with a round handle. Doesn't matter the kind of spoon, just as long as it has a round handle. Some tape, a glue stick, a pencil, a pair of scissors, some rice in a cup. We need about 1/4 of a cup of rice. We'll need 2 pieces of foil. The bigger one is about 10 inches and the little one is about 7 inches long. And we'll be needing at least 1 full sheet of green paper. You can also use white if you don't have green. That will be a fine choice. And the extra green will be for some 3D parts we can add later if we want to. All right, let's use our foil next. We're going to start with the larger sheet, and I'd like for you to roll it like you're rolling a snake. Then sort of scrunch it with your hands, but try not to make it too thin. And then wrap it around the wooden handle of your spoon so that when you take it off, it stays that shape. Great. Now the next one, I'd like for you to roll it thinner. So I am taking a little bit more cautious and carefulness here to roll this a little thinner. Squeeze it when you're done. There we go. And then again around the handle of that spoon. Sort of squeeze it on there, slide it off. Perfect. Just kind of fixing up that end. And then we're going to sort of twist them together. They're not going to stay very well, but we actually don't want them to stay together. We just want them to kind of be near each other. There we go. Perfect. Okay, set them aside. Okay, so now we need our cardboard tube and a piece of our green paper. I'm going to start by tracing my cardboard tube here, and I don't want to be too close to the edge, and when I trace the second time, I want to make sure I'm not too close to the first one. Then I'm going to draw a larger circle around each of the tracings of the circles, and then I'm going to use my scissors to cut on the larger one. Kind of looks like two donuts. Okay, set those scraps aside. Now I'm going to take my scissors and make little slices that start on the edge of that bigger circle and end on my circle I traced. I'm going to add a little bit of glue here to the little cuttings that I just made, just like that. And I'm going to start pushing those little wings. They look like little wings. Push those little wings onto my cardboard tube. This would be a great time to enlist an art assistant if you have one. I'm also going to use some tape as I go because even though the glue would stick eventually, sometimes it doesn't want to stick right away at the beginning. And if you don't have an art assistant, you can do what I'm doing. I'm sticking a little piece of tape on my wrist so that I can grab it more easily. So I take the tape, put it on my hand there, push my pieces down, and then put that on. Don't be afraid to use extra tape. We want that to be very secure so that our rice doesn't fall out later. Okay, now take your little pieces of foil. Mine came apart. Make sure they kind of stay together. Put them down inside of your tube. Excellent. And now we're going to pour in our rice. Oh, before I do that though, I'm going to go ahead and cut my other green paper and get the glue ready. Okay, now I'm going to get a few pieces of tape on my wrist here, and I'm going to very carefully pour in my rice into my tube. Again, if you have an art assistant, that could help you out. And if this is really hard for you, you can always use a spoon as well. I dropped a few pieces, so I'm going to go ahead and put those in. All right, and then repeat the same steps on the top here, putting down those little wings and putting a piece of tape to hold them in place. And as you go this time, be a little more careful because that rice could spill out. All right, so now everything is down, but I'm just going to double check here. I have one little spot that just will not stick. I'm going to add another piece of tape to that area. It's right there, just because it will not stick. All right, so now we're going to be trimming the green piece of paper so that we can make a wrap for around our tube. I noticed that the one way my paper is too short, so I'm going to put it this way and roll it around. And I'm actually going to go ahead and trim my green paper so that I don't have too much wasted there. So I made a little mark, and now I'll cut this. If again, this is a part where maybe an art assistant could come in handy to help you figure out how long you need that to be. And now I'm going to measure how tall my tube is, put a little mark there, and cut that across. I'm going to save those scraps. They might come in handy later. Okay, so now I'm just going to practice one more time to make sure. Yeah, perfect. Okay, next step. Now I'm going to put some things on here that would belong in the Amazon rainforest. So if you are not sure, you can always go back to the beginning of this video and pick some things that you might like to draw. Or if your family says it's okay, you could even go and do a Google search for Amazon rainforest animals or Amazon rainforest plants, and you could draw some things that grow or live in the Amazon rainforest. I'm going with some leaves here. I found that these leaves grow, in the Amazon rainforest. I apologize, I completely forgot to tell you that we would be needing some crayons. So if you need to pause the video here and run and grab a couple colors, then do that. But you do need a couple of crayons to finish up this next part. Okay, so I'm just going to use my crayons now and add some color. My paper's already green, so I'm just going to do a little bit of shading and a little bit of outlining. I'll trace the veins. Okay, so now I'm going to add a cute little tree frog. I know some of them in the Amazon rainforest can be poisonous, so I'm going to add a little blue tree frog here. He's going to be sitting on one of my leaves. You're welcome to do something like that as well, or you can always do that search on the Amazon rainforest and see if there's something else you want to add to yours instead of a little tree frog. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of texture to the background just so it looks not quite so plain. So I'm going to use my different shades of green and a little bit of yellow here to just kind of shade in the background, add a little bit of texture. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and attach our drawing that we just finished to our rain stick. So I'm going to start by putting some glue around the edges. Then I'll fill in the middle with a little bit of glue. I'm also going to get a few pieces of tape and stick them to my wrist here. Again, this might be another part where you ask for your art assistant to help out. And now I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this around. And I don't like how that wrapped, although the glue is sticking already. That's a good job, glue. All right, let's try it one more time, see if we can get a little straighter. There we go, much better. Okay, so now just press that with your hands, and then if you have some tape, go ahead and put it right over top of that seal there. I'm going to add 3 pieces, one at the top, one in the middle, and one at the bottom. Alright, so this part's completely optional. You could have been done at the last step if you wanted to. I'm going to add some leaves that will sit on top of my little rain stick. So if you want, you can join me and make some leaves that will sit on top of your rain stick. If not, you can totally be done without the 3D leaves if you want. Alright, so if you're making some leaves, here we go. So I'm going to start by making leaves that are similar to the ones I drew on my tube. You can draw any shape, style of leaf that you would like to. And I'm going to draw it so that I can fold it over and double cut. Remember, that's one of my favorite art secrets, to be able to create 2 for the time it takes to make 1. There we go, and ta-da, 2. Now I'm going to use my green crayon to draw some of the veins like I did on the other ones, and I'm going to be attaching them right at the top just like that. So I'm going to start with some glue. If the glue doesn't stick, I can always add some tape, but I'm going to try the glue first. So let's see, hold that in place, and I'm realizing I wish there was one more, so I'm going to use one other little piece of scrap that I have to make one more. And there we go, my finished rain stick. Fantastic. Well, Cape artists, there you have it, your finished Amazon rainforest rainstick. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something new about the rainforest or the animals or the plants that live in it. And if you practice using your rainstick really slowly, it will truly sound like the rain drizzling through the leaves and hitting off of the branches and falling to the earth below in Brazil. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here next time at The Heart of a Viking. HOB artists, don't forget to hop on over to Artsonia to upload a photograph of your piece of artwork to your art portfolio. I can't wait to see it.